Well, as we were discussing there, Ukraine faces some major roadblocks in building profitable mining operations. Significant resources are located in territory Russia now has captured and controls, including the bulk of Ukraine's coal deposits. Ukraine has had to close mining facilities due to Russian military advances. Businesses would also have to navigate an inefficient and complex regulatory process in Ukraine. Not to mention there's a war still underway. Yuriy Vitrenko is the former CEO of Ukrainian energy company Naftogaz, and he joins me now. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Jim, hello.
So first, big picture question, because earlier versions of this deal were seen by some in Ukraine, some in Europe as exploitative of Ukraine. I wonder, when you look at the current version, is it a win-win in your view for Ukraine and the U.S.?
Has a potential to be a win-win. Still, again, there are some risks, and it's more like a framework agreement. So a more detailed, practical, technical agreement should follow, and it remains to be seen what will be there. But at least, again, it has a lot of potential to be a win-win.
When we look at the oil and gas part of this, right? Because initially the focus had been very much on rare earths, and that is still part of this, but oil and gas are now included. What's the significance of that in your view?
Yes, now it's about natural resources that, again, including oil and gas, including critical minerals and the rare earth minerals. Rare earths is probably more like a future. I would even say a more distant future, because even though, again, some estimates says that we have like $15 trillion worth of rare earth minerals in Ukraine, but nobody knows how much you need to spend to be able to extract this rare earth minerals. And you need a lot of investments, a lot of time. What is the most important thing, you need new technologies, otherwise it won't be economically efficient. And oil and gas, it's not like a future, not even like a distant future. It's really what we are extracting now, and what is very profitable at the moment. And there are investors inside Ukraine and foreign investors, I know from my own experience, that are ready to invest in oil and gas production in Ukraine, even during the war. And also, again, in terms of like territories that are currently occupied by Russia, it's more about coal and some minerals, but less about oil and gas. So from that perspective, also, we have a lot to offer right now.
The obvious fact is that Ukraine is still the target of a large-scale Russian invasion. A deadly war is still underway in the east, and Russia continues to bomb Ukrainian infrastructure and cities. Can any of this begin before the war ends?
Yes, of course. Again, many projects, especially capital-intensive projects, should be delayed after the war. And by the way, we hope that with this deal, because that's what Trump wanted and he got it. So we would expect new weapons. We would expect some additional economic sanctions on Russia, like, for example, Lindsey Graham proposal that is bipartisanly supported in the US. If it all happens, it increases the chance that Putin will agree to armistice, and that brings the peace that we all want to have. It will also open the way for investments. But even during the war, again, there are investments that can be made and should be made. Also, there are some reforms that at least should be prepared, because this agreement is very clear about the need for transformation of Ukraine, that Ukraine should be much more open in terms of like market reforms. There should be structural reforms. The rule of law should dominate, and that's something that we should be working on right now. And the US can help. At least I would expect it.
There was a horrible meeting, as you remember, 2 months ago in the White House, a little over 2 months ago. This deal signed just over 2 months after that Oval Office meeting between Zelensky and Trump, which was a troubling time, not just for the Ukrainian president, but the Ukrainian people. I remember speaking to other citizens of your country who were just alarmed and saddened by it and worried about the status of the relationship with the U.S. I wonder, do you see this deal as showing that the relationship is repaired?
Frankly, I don't think so. So we still have a lot of frustration, I would say, or sometimes just people are puzzled. I would say because again, if you look at the U.S. foreign policy at the moment, maybe again it's just because they want to negotiate with both sides, but of course many people feel like it's not the level of support that strategic partners should have, and the level of trust that strategic partners should have. And we are on the yes side, we are on the side of the free world, and we would expect some reciprocity. So, frankly, again, currently there is some damage that still needs to be kind of repaired.
Yuriy Vitrenko, former CEO of Naftogaz, we do appreciate you joining.